a graph that is 8 inches wide and 10 inches tall. Billy enlarges the graph to be 30 inches wide, so it must be blank inches tall. We'll then go to part B. Billy reduces the graph to be 4 inches wide, and therefore it will be how many inches tall? And then letter C, kind of a thinking through the problem. Can Billy make the graph 20 inches by 20 inches? Why or why not? So, first problem. Billy enlarges the graph to be 32 inches wide. Okay, so let's remember, the graph starts 8 inches wide and 11 inches tall. He wants to make it 32 inches wide, so we're trying to figure out how many inches tall. Okay, think about it. From 8 to 32, what did he multiply by? Well, 8 times 4 is 32. When you're talking about staying consistent, making this to scale, if you multiply the width by 4, you have to multiply the height by 4. So on the tall end of this, if I take 11 times 4, my picture, the graph, would have to be 44 inches tall because you multiplied by the same on each direction. Now, in part B, again, remember, we started with 8 inches wide and 11 inches tall. So now we want to go to 4 inches wide. How many inches tall? Okay, so from 8 to 4, what happened? Well, hopefully you recognize that you divided by 2, because 8 divided by 2 gives you 4. So I will also divide by 2 on the other side, and 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So if Billy reduces the graph to be 4 inches wide, it must be 5.5 inches tall. And the last one, can Billy make this graph 20 by 20? Well, you might be able to think of it a few different ways, but let's look at it mathematically. 8 inches wide, 11 inches tall is where we started. If we went straight to 20, okay, 20 inches wide, let's think about what would that mean in terms of how many inches tall. Would it be 20? Well, off the top of my head, I'm not very good at saying, okay, 8 times what gives me 20? I struggle with that a little bit. But if I work backwards and take 20 divided by 8, that gives me 2.5, which means 8 times 2.5 gives me 20. And if you don't believe me, try it, right? Because I can go the other way. 8 times what gives me 20 means 20 divided by 8 will give me 2.5. So, based off what we did in the last two problems, if I multiply 11 by 2.5, it should be 27.5 inches tall, which means the answer to this problem is no. If Billy wants to keep this to scale, he can never have it be 20 by 20 because the original is not a square, right? 20 inches by 20 inches implies it's a square, and 8 by 11 is not a square, so it just will not work.